Hi everyone, and thank you for watching my video today. This is KK coming to you from Millstream Gardens. It's another one of my favorite places to come and explore and to be in nature. One of my absolute favorite places is Amadon, and I was there yesterday, which caused me to want to do this video because today I want to talk to you about perspective. Yesterday I took a trail to Amadon that I take hundreds of times, and I've taken it in two different directions. And yesterday it kind of hit me that I'm seeing it from a different perspective and a different viewpoint, a different mindset. It could have been the time of the day. It could have been the time of the year that I was there. But I was taking the same trail that I've taken hundreds of times and saw it in different light yesterday, which is why I wanted to do this video today and talk to you about perspective. Now, disclaimer, this is the second video that I made. The first time I had a prop, I had a beach ball. I wanted to show you visually how you could have a different perspective than what I could have. And during the video, I put my beach ball down, and guess what? It got in the river, and now it's somewhere down there. I have no idea where it's at. All I can say is that my perspective floated down the river, and it's gone. And that's okay. So let me try to illustrate to you about the beach ball and how it can visually show you a different viewpoint. So if I had my beach ball and I was showing it to you in the video, you would see three different colors. You might see yellow, red, and blue, or you might see green, white, and orange. But I would see it from a different perspective. I would see it from a different side and see different colors. And that's an important lesson to learn. Not only when we're communicating, but when in our personal lives and business, whatever, when somebody has a different viewpoint of a situation or a challenge that you're presented with, they're seeing it from a different perspective. They're seeing it from their side of the beach ball. And if we can learn to ask the right questions to find out why they're seeing it that way and what their viewpoint is and how they come to see it from that perspective, then we can learn from each other. And hopefully they'll learn from our side of the beach ball and ask us the same questions so that we can collaborate together and come up with a right solution and communicate better. And it's all about perspective. Now, this last year when COVID happened and we had to view things in a different situation. Now, there are some events in our lives, some events that we just can't help. Nobody could help COVID. But how we chose to view it could be based on different perspectives that we've had, different situations that we've had in our life, different experiences than what we've had in our lives to cause us to have a framework of whether it was good or bad when COVID happened. And there was some good from it, but it all depends on your viewpoint, on your perspective, your side of the beach ball, how you view things, on how that you were able to handle COVID. So I want to use one example. For instance, when the world happened and we all had to go online, I had to learn a new platform, Zoom, but I found out that it was a fantastic tool to connect with people that I would not have otherwise connected with. Now, I know some people challenged me and said that you can't make connections online, not like you can in social settings. And there's some truth to that, but I also want to challenge this from my side of the beach ball. My challenge was that when I had a one-to-one conversation with a colleague of mine, she was at home, I was in my office, and I could see her surroundings, and I heard the doorbell. She said, "Excuse me, I need to go answer that." And I said, "Not a problem. I'll be right here waiting for you." But I could see in what she was doing, and she walked to the door, she opened it, she shut it. Nobody came in. Nobody went out. She didn't get a package. But I did notice something else. Her dog went outside. So when she came back to the camera and her and I resumed our conversation, I said, "Did your dog just ring the doorbell?" And she said, "Yeah." She said he rings the doorbell when he needs to go outside, and then he'll ring the doorbell again when he needs to come inside. And sure enough, The doorbell rang again, and she went, and the dog came back inside. And the reason why I wanted to share that with you today was because I would not have known that piece of information about, and I found that very, very fascinating. It wasn't the topic of our conversation. We were actually just getting to know each other, but it was a different aspect of her that she may not have shared with me. She may not know that I love dogs or that I love animals in general, and she would not have shared that with me. But because of Zoom and the platform that we were in, I got to see her life from a different perspective. I got to see something different. I may not have seen that, I may not have known that, and that's the reason why I tell that story, because when people tell me that we can't make those social connections even online, I want to challenge that. I want to challenge that perspective, because sometimes we can discover more about a person than what we could have had we not been in that environment. And it's all about seeing from a different perspective, a different viewpoint. And it's so powerful in communication in business and in your personal lives when you can actually see something from the other person's viewpoint, the other person's side of the beach ball, and learn how they're viewing things, and that they can learn how we view things. So when COVID happened and we all had to learn to adjust, we had to pivot, we had to come up with new ways of doing business. And I know a lot of businesses were hurt during this last year. Some businesses thrived because they did learn to adjust. And it's all about the experiences that we've had. And I'm not making light of that situation, because I feel bad for those businesses and those individuals who are really suffering because of the effects of COVID and what it did to their businesses. But for me, in my world, it really opened up my doors. It really opened up my world. I have made stronger connections with people around the world. I've made better friendships. I've gotten to be in contact with people that normally I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do so. So when people challenge me and says that COVID hurt them and that we can't do business successfully on Zoom, I like to challenge them, because I see it happening every day, that people are using it. And instead of looking at the bad, they're looking at the opportunity. They're looking at what can be good about viewing it from a different perspective and facing the challenge and overcoming those challenges. Not everybody has the ability to do that. I understand that. That's not the point of that. I'm not trying to cause an argument by saying that, oh, it's all good. I'm just saying that we all have had events in our lives. We've all had experiences. We tie emotions to them. We give them meaning by the emotions that we give to them. And if we can learn to try to glean anything that's good out of a situation, maybe our experiences can be better. Maybe our outcomes can be better. Maybe our emotions can be better. Maybe we can gain the confidence we need to overcome any other challenges that we have in life. I've had to learn this, and I have to be very intentional about seeing things from a different perspective from the other people who are challenging me. Explain to me, show me how, why are you seeing it from that way? What experiences have you had in your life to where those are the perspectives that you have and you're seeing it as a challenge, where I might see it as an opportunity? And I hope that they want to learn from me as well, in order to see it from my perspective. Because when we do that and we can communicate with each other more effectively, wow, that's where the power is. That's where the power of communication comes in, is when we can make that connection. And we can make that connection, have a deeper connection, when we can learn to look from the other person's side of the beach ball. I wish I had my prop. I don't know where it's at. It's somewhere down the river. I hope somebody enjoys it when they get it. I'm not going after it. But the whole idea about perspective, really, that's what I like about nature, is because I do learn about things. I can actually see things from a different viewpoint when I just simply changed my perspective and changed my pattern of how I went down a trail. Now, there are other trails that I go on that I purposely will take a different approach to. For instance, there's one trail that I like to go on where if I go down one way in one direction, the first challenge I come to is like a hillside of rocks. If I go the opposite direction, the first challenge that I come to is a stairwell, large stairwell, to get down into the canyon. Either way I go, I'm going to have to face that challenge. But I will purposely go around it differently each time so I can challenge myself on those different obstacles, because it helps me face those obstacles in the future. So for instance, most of you may know or may not know that several years ago I fell down a flight of stairs and broke both of my arms at the same time. So now when I go down this trail and I go down one direction, and the first obstacles I come to is a flight of stairs that I have to go down, I'm a little bit afraid, a little bit leery of going down those steps, because in my mind I remember that I fell down a flight of stairs and broke both of my arms, and I don't want to repeat that experience again. But I will purposely go down that to face that challenge, to make myself face the fear and do it anyway. When I go down the other direction of the trail and I go down a whole steep full of rocks, it's easier for me to climb up the rocks than what it is for me to go down. And I think it's based off of the fact that I'm afraid I'm going to fall down those rocks and hurt myself. So it's easier for me to climb up, but I will purposely go down them every once in a while just to challenge myself, to get over the fear and do it anyway. I look at it from a different perspective so that I can have better outcomes, so that I can reframe my experiences to where I can enjoy myself better and get over the fear of whatever it is that I'm facing. Whether it be just going down a simple flight of stairs, or whether it's climbing down a whole hillside of rock, there's a certain amount of fear that I have there that I want to overcome. And every time that I face that challenge and I'm able to successfully complete it, it reframes me. It gives me a different perspective. It gives me a whole different experience that I will take with me, and it builds my confidence. And then the next time that I face it, I don't have as much fear because I've already successfully done that. And that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, was just simply looking at things from a different viewpoint. I could look at those stairs and think, I'm going to fall and break my arms, or I can look at those stairs and just say, hey, it's just a simple means of getting me from one location to another location to get down into the canyon and enjoy my hike. So I want to challenge you today to look at things from a different perspective. Look at things from the different side of the beach ball. I wish I had my beach ball, but my perspective is floating down the river somewhere. It was absolutely hilarious. I'm sitting here and I'm filming it, and I look behind me and the camera, and I see my beach ball simply floating down the river. It is somewhere down there, and I hope whoever finds it enjoys it. I'm not going after it. I'm not afraid to get into the water, but it's cold this morning. The river's still cold from the winter, and I'm not getting in it. So goodbye perspective, goodbye beach ball. Enjoy whoever finds it. It was hilarious. Trust me. But I want to challenge you today that if you want to have a deeper conversation about the power of perspective, changing the story about some experiences you had, reframing it in a way that builds your confidence, I want you to reach out to me. Comment below in the comment section. Send me a direct message. Friend me on Facebook. Send me an email. Just reach out to me and let me know how I can help you have a better outcome. Reframe some of those experiences. Look from a different perspective. I really like it when people do challenge me on some things so that I can learn from different people, because that's how we grow. I may not see it that way, but when I can see it how they framed it in their perspective, it also challenges me and helps me to grow and helps me to be a better person and helps me be a better leader and a coach. So if you want to continue the conversation, please reach out to me. Let me know how I can serve you. And when we talk about perspective, reframe those experiences, have better outcomes in our lives, build our confidence, face our fears, our challenges, do it anyway. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed the river behind me. It's absolutely beautiful over here this morning. I get to see it from a different perspective when I'm over here this early. And I'm over here all hours of the day, further down the river. I'm on the rocks playing, and I call it my playground. I enjoy it. I like to challenge myself, because even climbing on the rocks that's in the river, I have a little bit of fear, because I almost killed myself. And you've heard that story before. And if you haven't, watch the video called Fully Resourced, and I can tell you how I almost fell and killed myself on rocks like this. But I still go there because I don't let that fear and that experience and that emotion and that pain that I felt keep me from having amazing experiences in my life. And I don't want you to let those negative experiences build up that emotion to where it's preventing you from having the life that you deserve. So if you want to reach out to me, I'm here for you. Let me know how I can best serve you. And in the meantime, I want you guys to see the rest of the river. So bear with me as I turn the camera around. Somewhere down there is my beach ball. If you're here and you find it, keep it as a reminder on how we can see things from a different viewpoint, see things from a different perspective, and have better outcomes in your life. Hey, I hope that you have an amazing day wherever you are, whatever time of the day that you're watching this, whether it's morning, afternoon, or nighttime. I hope that you are having the most awesome, amazing life possible. Until next time, this is KK keeping it real. Have a great one. Peace.